Hey there, Grayest Fox here. On my stream recently, where I cleaned up my newly acquired PowerMac G3 and PowerMac G4, a subscriber asked me for a tour of all of the computers that I have. So here it is. This is going to be a tour of the two laptops that I have. It's not super exciting compared to my more exotic machines, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm working with in my arsenal of computers. So I'm going to start with the computer that I've had for the longest amount of time. It is not my oldest computer, but it's the one I've had for the most amount of time. It is a HP Pavilion G series. I don't know anything more specific than that. Originally, it had Windows 7 on it. It still does have Intel i3 processor inside it. I'll show you in a second the system information of what it's working with. And as you can tell, it is a pretty beat up. So the title of this video might have something to do with touched by a xenomorph, because when I showed this in the Red Faction community, one of the friends there, Lick, said that it looks like it has been spit on by a alien from the Alien series. So yeah, but no, this is just from normal use for 14 years now. This was my daily driver from 2011 to about 2020 when I got this, which I'll show you next. But yeah, for 9 years, this was my daily driver, and that is why this is all from mousing around and from clicking. And yeah, it just has been beaten up like that, but it still works. Computer from 2011, but it is before I got my Power Max. This was the least powerful computer that I had. It's not very powerful, which is why it has Linux Mint on it, and I'll show you exactly what that's about in a second. But yeah, it has Linux Mint on it because it can't run Windows 11, and I don't think it can even run Windows 10 all that well back when 10 was still current. So let me give you a look at what this is. It's got paint. This is paint because this has been misused and abused for, like I said, 14 years now. This has been with us camping. I will take a external DVD drive and we'll watch videos on this, even though the screen's not that good. I'll give you a look exactly at what kind of resolution options it has, but it's not HD, at least not full HD. And yep, clicking buttons, right and left click. This turns on and off at least it did back on Windows, but it doesn't look like it does anything now. There's a little button here. And of course the trackpad, which is just like on top of the shell here, rather than being like set down in like my new one. So it has a webcam. I have no idea what that looks like. Probably not very good. Let me see. It's got, I think these are the speaker grills. There you go. Plus 1,000 views. There's Pantera. All right. And the I.O. we have, um, if there were labels on here, they're illegible now. I think this is an SD card reader. Then we have a couple status LEDs. These are audio, clearly. I'm not sure which one is mic and which one is headphone, but I seem to remember trying both and eventually finding which one was which. We have a couple USBs here. They are not 3.0. I'm not sure what they are. Probably 2. This here is nice for the computer, especially at its time. It has HDMI. So this is capturing, I'll show you the desktop in a second. This is the capture card I use. This is what I use for console gaming. This is what I use for streaming in general. Anything that can output HDMI, it goes in, and then it can go out to a secondary display if you want it to. I don't need that at the moment. And then it goes over USB 3.0 into the computer, and that's how it gets its video. Back right there. And we have Ethernet, which is not a given anymore, unfortunately. I wish laptops still had Ethernet. And VGA. VGA is still great to have for external displays, projectors, stuff like that. And on the other side, we have the power cord, of course, and one more USB, not sure what generation, probably 2, and the Kensington lock. And what else we got? So the DVD drive in this has long since been dead, doesn't work anymore. So I just took it out, a little bit more ventilation. Seriously, that was my thinking behind it. And let's see, does this come off, or is there screws screwed in? There's screws screwed in, but that's okay. I'll show you what's underneath the shield. And the battery is dead. Of course it is. It's 14 years old. I still have the battery because absolutely you do not throw those away. You can recycle them. I just haven't found a good recycling place. And it's also good to have the, if I were to ever get a replacement, to have the model number. So, and yeah, there's the fan intake. No fans here, but just air intake. It was a good computer for its time, for sure. It's not very useful today. It could be used for like writing papers, PowerPoint, email, browsing the web, stuff like that, but it's not fast enough to do much of anything else. Show you give you an idea of what I've tried using it for. If you know, you know. Actually, I've been having trouble with that because I'm having trouble getting Linux to recognize any controllers that I plug in. So I've not actually done any of that. I used to back when this was a Windows machine, but it no longer is. Okay, so this is a Linux Mint machine. Linux is I'm guessing it's the third most popular operating system available. As far as I know, all of the Linux distributions, that's what they call different versions of Linux, they're all free as far as I know. I just chose Linux Mint because it looks a lot like Windows. Like here's your start menu. And yeah, looks a lot like Windows. And this is what it has on it. Yep, you can see there. So it's got Linux Mint 22.1 Cinnamon. I don't know what the different versions are. I know you can get Linux distributions that are less taxing on hardware, which are good for like super old machines. You can get Linux that looks pretty much like OS X or even Windows. Linux is a great thing. It's not 100% compatible with Windows stuff. So that's what you have to deal with is you have to do some workaround sometimes. But we have, here's the processor. It's an Intel Core i3 CPU, M370, 2.4 gigahertz. I'm guessing that times 2 means dual core. It has 7.6 gigs of DDR3 RAM, DDR3L actually. It's actually 8 nominally, but apparently 7.6 in relative terms. And this is the big reason why it can't really do modern stuff, is it doesn't have enough memory. I tried putting faster memory in this, and it wasn't compatible in some way. And because I have other computers, I just didn't feel the need to try to force it, try to make it work. Right now, it has a 500 gig SSD hard drive in it. It is a Crucial brand SSD in there. Crucial is a budget manufacturer of RAM and SSDs that works really well. I use a lot of their stuff. That's what's in there. That's why it runs as fast as it does, because it used to have a spinning hard drive and it ran pretty slowly. And yeah, it has integrated graphics. Okay, here it is. So it looks like this is HD, but it's 720 HD. It's not full 1080, because this is the highest that the resolution will go on this laptop. So 720 is not great, but it's not great for like Netflix. It's not great for gaming, even if you're gaming like modern stuff. If this were capable of gaming, which it's not. That is what the highest resolution is on this. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. So why do I have Linux on this machine? Why do I still have this machine? Well, I don't like throwing things away that can still be useful. I did have my wife's old college laptop, which was an Acer Aspire with an AMD CPU in it, but it took DDR2 RAM. And I tried to fix that up, put an SSD in it, I think, and more RAM, and it still couldn't run a very low taxing, low resource dependent version of Linux. Just wouldn't go fast. It was totally useless. So I did sell that one on eBay, and someone bought it apparently for some reason. But for this computer, which cannot run Windows 11, I just chose Linux Mint. And what is Linux Mint good for? Well, it's great for if you have an older machine that can't upgrade to Windows 11. So perfect for this, exactly. Um, I have used this on a few machines. This is the only personal machine that I have that's on it, but it's a good option if you want to keep an older computer, but you don't want to deal with the security lapses of Windows 10 no longer being supported. What else does this do, though? Well, if you open up Terminal, you get a command prompt, just like the command prompt on a PC. And what this does is, now I'm not going to pretend that I'm very good at this because I have to look up every single thing I type into a Linux command prompt or a lot of Windows command prompts. So what did I use this for? Well, I was able to use this to format a new IDE hard drive for my Power Mac G4 because PCs, as far as I know, can't format into a format of a hard drive that a Power Mac will recognize, be able to initialize. This can, Linux can. And a friend told me that that's because Mac is still loosely Unix based and Linux is mostly Unix based. So you can type in a whole bunch of things and it'll show you all the different things you have plugged in. And then it gave me the option to reformat the hard drive. I deleted the partitions using the command prompt here. And then I formatted it into, I wish I could remember what it was, but whatever format it is something that the Power Mac G4 was able to recognize. So yeah, the Power Mac G4, you're not going to see it today, but it had a 10 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar hard drive in it, and it wasn't enough space. 10 gigabytes is not a lot of space. You think about if you buy a flash drive now on like Amazon, the lowest they go most of the time is 16 gigs. So I found a 40 gig hard drive on eBay. It was listed as new, but it wasn't. That's okay. It worked. It already had a image on it of it looked like a fresh install from an HP desktop, but I was able to format it using this Linux machine, and so when I plugged it into the Power Mac, I'm not going to pretend this was fast. It took a long time. It took a whole day almost of me sitting on the floor because I don't have my desk yet. Getting this thing formatted and then installing Mac OS 9.22 onto it, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. It took a while, but I'm pretty sure that it is stable now. That the Power Mac G4's new 40 gig Western Digital Caviar hard drive is stable. I hope. If not, I still have the 10 gigabyte one that I didn't do anything to. It still has all the files on it. So that's what I was able to do with this. Linux is very good at being able to do secret stuff. Well, I don't know, secret stuff, tricky stuff like that Windows PCs can't necessarily do. It's really good at that kind of stuff. I've tried streaming, using this as a streaming PC back when this laptop was the only laptop I had, was the only computer I had, but it can't. It just won't work. It's not fast enough. It can't accept. It just can't do it. So yeah, it's But yeah, it can do other stuff. It's got Firefox on it. It can do pretty much anything that Windows can do. It's just you're going to run into certain things like the controller issue I'm having, which I'm not exactly sure what that is. I haven't really looked into it, and so you things you'll have to figure out. Now, Linux Mint, I would say maybe any Linux distribution is more of an advanced thing, advanced operating system, because sometimes you really do have to open the terminal and type things in, and but you can always Google, like, how do I do this on Linux? That's exactly what I do. I Google, okay, how do you reformat a hard drive on Linux Mint? And it'll tell me exactly what to type in, because there's all kinds of Reddit threads, there's all kinds of forums out there that'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So that's what I use this for, and it works well for that. Okay, so we have Ultimate Doom. Why is it no music, no sound? Uh, there it goes. Oops. I can actually turn that down. Okay. How do I shoot? Control. Oh wow, this is chunky. Oh yeah, it can doom. Not very pretty, but it can doom. There we go, space. Holy cow, I can barely see you. But yeah, it doesn't look very pretty, but it can doom. But this is not how you would choose to play Doom if you had an option. And I have options. That is my HP Pavilion G series from 2011. That's when I got it. I'm not sure when it was made. And here is my daily driver. It's going to sound familiar, it is an HP Pavilion. But this is from 2020, I believe, possibly made in 2019. I'm not sure. Has an Intel Core i7. It still has this like abbreviated keyboard, no numpad. Also has a tiny little uh, arrow key setup. So I have gamed on this, and I always use an external keyboard for that. Here is the trackpad. Um, and it doesn't work very well. In fact, sometimes it refuses to recognize clicks at all. So I have an external mouse plugged in, a Logitech G203. And this has, well, it has a webcam, which is limited to 720 still, unfortunately, but it has one. This is a touch screen. Hopefully, I think I can just, yeah, see? So, yep, I can use it as a touch screen. It's called a convertible because it can also be used as a tablet if you are so inclined. By I can't do it right now because everything's plugged in, but these hinges go all the way around so that the keyboard actually stops working because it's exposed on the bottom or top, and this acts like a tablet. So here is the I/O. We have USB 3.0. That's capture device. Here is my microphone that I have right here. Very cheap, like $10 from Amazon. Works better than other things that I've had. What else is there? The power button and Kensington lock. There's the vent out. And over here, over here we have a card reader still. I don't know if that's common or not anymore. Status LED, no optical drive, unfortunately, but uh, I have an external one, so that's not the end of the world. I have a USB-C uh, outlet here, which is how I plug in my mouse, like there. And another USB, which is what I use to power the fans in my cooling stand. And it also takes HDMI, which is good to have, so you can plug it into a TV or whatever. Capture it separately. So good to have. Got my Logitech sticker. Get well soon. That's from Chad Gilbert from Newfound Glory. That's his thing. He has a rare form of cancer and runs an e-zine. And he sent me that. He sends all kinds of people random stickers when you order his e-zine. And that was his cat, Ghost, which unfortunately passed in 2023. So hold on to your friends. And right now you're getting MetaView of this is OBS. This is what I use to stream. I can also do Twitch, but I'm recording right now because that way I can cut out things and sound like an idiot more, and you'll never know. It is an HP Pavilion X360 convertible, 14-inch DH1 blah blah blah. It is a 64-base PC. Here's the important thing. Processor, Intel Core i7 10510U CPU, 1.8 gigahertz, 4 cores, 8 logical processors. It is pretty good. It's not great. Won't lie and say it's great, but it's pretty good. It works well for a daily driver. This is my daily driver. Let's see what else is on here. Oh, RAM. We have 16 gigs of DDR4. It has DDR4 Vengeance in it, 3200 megahertz speed. So Camo is a thing that connects to your phone or can also connect to a webcam or a regular camera, and it just allows you to capture over Wi-Fi. Uh, my phone is not connected to my computer at all, except by Wi-Fi. It's totally wireless, which is pretty cool. That does create some problems if I try to capture audio through it. So that's why I use a external mic now, because it'll just like garble at some points for no reason. So yeah, that's Camo. CapCut is the editing program that I use to edit videos for YouTube. It is free, works pretty well, but I don't edit on this anymore because editing and processing the video and exporting the video is GPU dependent. And this, of course, is a laptop. So I use my gaming computer, which you'll eventually see, for editing videos because it can do it faster, it can do it more efficiently. LibreOffice is something that I found out when I was working with Linux Mint, because Linux Mint, you can get Microsoft Office for Linux, I believe, but why would you? LibreOffice is free. Libra free. It looks a lot like Microsoft Office, but it is, there are certain things where things are going to be out of place, settings and stuff. So again, whenever I need to do something and I can't figure out how to do it, I Google it. So those are my two laptops. This is my daily driver, my HP Pavilion X360. It works perfectly well for doing anything but gaming. I have gamed on this. It can run Red Faction 1, but when I went to speedrun Red Faction Armageddon on this, it could not stream it and play it at the same time. And it couldn't even play it in a pretty version either. So that's when I decided I had to get a gaming computer. So yes, this can game. In fact, let me show you. So yeah, this can game. This is Red Faction, looking pretty. Probably not getting any sound because I have my mic plugged in and I only have one audio jack, so it's doing mic duty right now. And I think I have desktop audio turned off. Oh no! Revolution kicks off. So yeah, it can game. Let me try something I've never tried before. Oh, okay, that worked for a second, but I would not recommend apparently trying to play with a touchscreen. Yeah, it can game, but it's not a gaming computer. This is a game from 2001, which is running in a higher resolution than it used to in 2001, but it's still not a great experience for more modern games. So there you are. There are two out of the six computers that I have. Everything else is a desktop. I don't really have any um, tablets like you would consider like an iPad or anything. I have an Amazon Fire, which is not noteworthy. It barely works because the battery is pretty much dead. And I have an Amazon Kindle, which I haven't used in a while. It's in a drawer somewhere. But these are the two laptops that I have. This HP Pavilion that I showed you, the second one, they're both HP Pavilions. The second one is my daily driver. I use it for pretty much everything except gaming. It has taken over the duty where if we go camping, I always bring DVDs in case we get a rainy day. We can watch some DVDs, and so it's a good computer. I've heard other uh, I've heard some YouTubers say that HP laptops aren't that great. I don't really have a good reference because I've only had HP recently, at least. Um, and yeah, at some point I might tell you about the computers that I used to have. I'm having trouble finding some pictures of some of the computers that I used to have. So maybe you'll see that, and you will see more videos about my Power Max and my gaming desktop, which is super jank. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that because it's not even very mobile. It's less mobile than a regular desktop because the power supply is on the outside. So you'll see that eventually, though. Thanks for watching. You will get more content from me about my computers and maybe about other things. If you have any comments, questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to each one that I get that is reasonable. And most of them are, and I thank you for that. Thanks for watching. There you go. Plus 1,000 views.